Alright guys, what's up? It's Limitless. So, here's what's up guys. I previously made a video about the new Sanctuary Onslaught, and I decided to go ahead and scrap it because the points I was trying to make, you know, I kind of had them all over the place, and I want to show it a bit neater and all that, you know, so that way the video is not quite as long, you know, and I can get it all in one run, that kind of stuff. And hopefully, even though I'm still tired, I can remember my tips this time, and, you know, the order I wanted to and all that. So guys, first things first. Sanctuary Onslaught, it's the new mode where you need to farm Khora if you don't want to buy her like I don't want to. Now guys, just so you know, the drop chances are really quite bad, but once you get it, it'll feel a lot better. Just know going into this, for Khora, you do need to have 9 genetic codes from the Kavats that you can find in Derelict. So, I'll let you know that right away. Now what you want to do guys, before you get into the mission, you want to get yourself ready with a few things. You want to have yourself your Banshee Prime, you want to have the Sinoid Simular and the Gamma Core, or just any 2 weapons that can proc Entropy. Which means it's those 2 weapons, and it's these 4, the Supra, Bolto, Kestrel, and the Obex, as long as you equip their respective mods on them. Alright, so having said that, what it is, Entropy, it's basically when you build up enough of the affinity, it seems like it siphons a part of that off and builds up your Entropy burst. And that does like 1,000 damage, plus gives you like a quarter of your energy back, and for 30 seconds gives you a 25% increase in total energy, like total max energy. So anyway, we'll just go ahead and throw a play now and there. People always join this, it's whatever. So anyway, usually you'll get into a squad pretty easily. Make sure. Yeah, see, somebody's already joining, but usually you'll see people waiting around for you because they want you to spawn and everything to be ready. Because here's how it works. Sanctuary Onslaught, it's the new mode and the newest update in Warframe, and the only place to get Khora if you're not buying her with Platinum. And to let you guys know, yes, even the blueprint, which would normally be, you know, a market buy since it is not a prime, it isn't here. Nope, you actually need to get it through the Sanctuary Onslaught. We got a full party already, like I said, happens pretty easily. And, yeah. What we want to do here is, you get 2.5 minutes for every wave. You want to find yourself with your Banshee with a mid-range and either max or near max, like mine is in efficiency, and as much power as you can cram in without damaging your efficiency. You want to find a nice midpoint somewhere on the map to go ahead and start dropping your burst with your Quake and all that. And yeah, you know, if you want, it will help out with your energy a lot if you do your void dashing like that and all that, but I'm not going to. I'm, you know, doing this with the assumption that, you know, I don't have all the stuff I need. So what we want to do, we've got that proc up, so now we want to go ahead and build this next one. And you guys can see, I have that there, it's ready to go, but it has not popped. So it's very close, that's what you want. It is possible to get it so close that it will auto-pop when you switch, but if you down whatever you switch to, which will be your Sinoid Gamma Core, will auto-pop if it's that close, and you may not get the energy for it. So I want to show what this does right here. You guys can see I've easily got the energy to burn it, but I'm not gaining focus because that's the first 45 seconds of every round. So I want to go ahead and burn this real quick and show you. I've got 260, almost 70 energy. Pop, boom. I'm over 300. So right there, easy manageable energy. So what you want to do, you want to wear that back down, because, you know, I was just doing it to show the proc. So I want to wear that back down and then build it back up. So it's worn down, almost. And I want to start getting experience on it again. And then just hold down the switch, which is triangle, and, you know, when I'm ready, that is. And then I'll switch to my melee weapon, just leave my melee weapon out, period. Until I need that energy. So you kind of want to fine-tune how close you get it, like I just did there. How it looks like it only needs a kill or two, something like that, to build up. So then you can go ahead and get your kills. But the things to know, other than what I've mentioned so far, of course, is that your efficiency, the first wave, always starts out at 50%. So once you build it up, it sticks that way. You know, and then that's basically setting the pace for the rest of the game there. The efficiency stimuli, it is not important to pick them up until you actually have a 10% or greater deficit, because they will give you 10% to your efficiency. And as you go further, there will be less of them. Now, instead of just trying to manage energy right out the gate, if you want focus, you need to kill. That's how it is. I actually have an Eidolon lens, so I'm getting quite a bit. It converts more of your affinity to straight focus, but it's the first 45 seconds of every wave past wave 1. Or zone 1, whatever you want to officially refer to it as. Now guys, something else to note. These stages are random, as well as the factions that you're going to run into. You're going to run into them all eventually. There's 4 factions, officially. There's the Infested, the Corpus, the Grenier, and then there's basically the Void ones, which are the Corrupted. And those are a mix of a little bit of everything. Alright, as you can see, this is really easy right now. And I'll show you later, so I don't actually burn it now. But if I switch back to either weapon, even across zones, the procs stick. So if I save them, they'll be saved until the time I switch. Doesn't matter if you save it on round 1 and you drop it on round 8 later. You see, my energy is quite manageable right now, so there's no point in actually stopping. The only time you want to actually stop is if you need to save energy for the end of the round and boost your efficiency back up, you know, stuff like that. And just beware, you will run into a lot of noobs that think the efficiency stimuli are a goal that you're supposed to get rather than a health. So, you know, you might be sitting with top efficiency like this, and you might see, you know, oh, you know, 3 out of 3 efficiency stimuli already grabbed for whatever reason. So beware of that, guys, and plan to, if you're going to do this Banshee method, plan to be the one that gets the most kills, does the most damage for the team. So like that. 3 out of 4 collected for no reason. But it's alright. I guess they think I have bottomless energy or something like that, because Banshee, she costs less than pretty much every other frame with the augment to actually drop her ultimate like that. And of course, your conduits, they're going to be opening pretty much where you started at. So don't travel too far from that if you can avoid it. And there we go, we got an S. Nice. Let's start with this again. I don't know who we've got. I'm guessing Reverse is Infested considering the damage I'm doing, because I'm using not that much. I'm using somewhere around 100% strength, which means basically I'm trying not to drop underneath that and still have a lot of range, as far as what this is concerned anyway. I'm not sitting there with like a 280% range build. No, it's not what this is. This is like a kind of in-between everything build, so we even have some of the duration, so you don't run too high on cost. Yeah, I was thinking that one should be fairly good. Got just about 9,000 focus there. Real easy, and right now I'm running it for Neramon, because that's not a favorite of mine. I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm gonna be honest, you know. Neramon's not a favorite of mine. And of course, something else I should mention, guys. I'm using corrosive projection. You would hope others are too. But if you don't have corrosive projection, run an energy siphon for whoever's going to be helping you if you're not the one doing the Banshee stuff. Of course, you always hope you're going to run it and somebody else is going to help you, but there's a lot of times that you don't. This might be one of those. You'll see, I'll come out at the end of this with easily the most kills. I should make at least 25k focus too, I would hope. I hope I'd make more, but 25k seems to be like the minimum I should make. You guys can see, we're taking this pretty easily. So it's a buff. Oh, okay, I think he took what I said the wrong way. Anyway. So I think I've pretty much gotten across enough of what I wanted to say, but I'll throw in one more tip here. To get your 125 energy back, because you can get like, you know, a decent chunk of energy back to grab a handful more casts if you drop your procs with your Synoid weapon. But something else is that if you run off from the enemies, because they keep leveling up as you go further, so if you run into them, your 125 energy, if you let them kill you and then just hold it down to respawn real fast, you will actually get your 125 back when you come back to life. So that's something to keep in mind. It helps a lot. Sometimes, you know, there's no energy orbs in sight or anything like that, and your allies are just terrible, you know, they can't kill anything. And sometimes your killing is just enough to keep the efficiency from dropping, you know, or from dropping fast. And, you know, the later rounds, like 6, 7, 8, something like that. See, it's nice that they're void dashing for me and give me energy, but a lot of them won't do that for you. So in cases like that, you have to be careful, you know. So normally, something like now, where I've stopped and gotten my focus, is where I would stop if I wasn't, you know, okay in energy. And I'd hold off until, you know, closer to the end of the round, something like that. You know, I just run around grabbing the efficiency stimuli whenever we were 10% under. Like, there's one right there. Where my dot is for my reticle. Yeah. It's right there. I could easily just stop and go get that in a little bit. So there's a lot to consider, but all in all, this is a very comfortable method. You know, you'll easily take the most of the kills. Thing is, every time I've done this with this build, I have never been beaten doing this. So, and that's kind of impressive to me, because obviously I know everybody's energy is limited, of course. You know, that's to be expected, but you kind of think somebody else would come in with a high banter like this and try to do it up. But so far I haven't seen anybody do it. The most common recurring frame for me is Trinity Prime, which is helpful, yeah. But I think right now they're just bored as crap, but they're like, we're winning, so we don't care. That's usually what happens too. They're like, we're winning, we don't care, it's whatever. Oftentimes they're gonna be like, thanks so much, you know, we didn't know how we were gonna do it. But as you guys can find out here, it's not that hard, guys. It's really not. It's much easier in a group. This is actually made to be done by a group. And you can tell that, you know, even if they're not going to be honest about it and let you know, you can tell that from the super large stages that no frame could ever cover by themselves. That kind of stuff. It's obvious. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, it irks me a bit that they call this endgame, because it really isn't. What this is, it's almost like how older games had boss rush mode. That's basically what this is. This is a rush mode that's meant to basically force you to play some kind of new frame, or get in a group where you're all using, you know, nice weapons. Because if you're You know, if you've got 3 or 4 of you, you can actually handle this melee only. But you all have to be doing it. Whereas this right here, this is just public with randoms, and we're dominating. It's basically this easy. Of course, there is some RNG to basically the whole thing here. Not only your drops, but also what stage and faction you're going to get. So RNG is probably more prevalent here than anywhere else in the entire game, but that's alright. But for me, endgame, I don't consider it true endgame unless the enemy levels are at least 1,000. And yes, guys, enemies can reach 4 digits. They can actually reach 5. Void dash for me, thank you. I appreciate the extra energy, it's nice. Saves me from looking around for energy orbs like what happens right there. You can notice them. But the thing about this is why I suggest corrosive projection above all is because when you get caught with, you know, your higher level enemies slash Grineer are the worst for Banshee because they have that armor. Corrosive projection helps rip that off. And if other players have it, if you all have it, they'll be completely unarmored. So consider that with your friends, it'll make it super easy. Like, if you think this is easy, try it with all 4 corrosives. Nobody will have armor on the enemy side at any point. And once again, it held true. Basically, stick near where you spawn if you can. So now this is one of those bigger stages that kind of sucks, because they can spawn all the way in that back room down there too, and along the sides and whatnot, so there's no way you're covering this by yourself, unless you have a top range Banshee, absolute massive, and you run in the middle somewhere. But no, we're trying to make this more comfortable here, so we're not going to worry about all that crap. And like he was saying, his range build only has 40% strength. I'm like, wow, he actually went negative in strength, okay. That's Volps. He's using an Equinox. How lovely. Like, Equinox is a great thing, it is. For players who think it isn't, it's just a misunderstanding type thing, you know, don't have all the required information / know how to play it effectively and all that, but let's be honest, there's players that think Banshee sucks. We're dominating? That's ridiculous. And the thing is, guys, is that Banshee, she has the highest potential to hit damage more than any other frame. And if I get a chance here, some enemies, I'll show you why. Look at this sonar, right? Look at that. I just hit it a few times. And instead of hitting like 1,000, she was hitting like 4. Oh, it didn't let me get it off. That sucks. Was that a 10,000 proc? That shouldn't have been the case. Dang it, guys. I'm trying to get you to go away. See, that's one thing that you can do too. Silence and drop it some more. Look at that. I hit 7,000 over there. That's just the kind of stuff I'm showing. Like, and for this, I don't recommend doing that all by yourself, but if you have to, you can actually take cover and stuff and do that. You can. It is not that big a deal. It's just that I'm not doing it because I'm tired and I don't care. Because we're gonna beat the crap out of this anyway.
A new data conduit is open. How do you to a new zone?
So that was 7. Either that or this is 7. 1 or 2. Okay, looks like this is 7. That's fine. That's whatever. And look at that. Another RNG big stage. Thanks. That's really not what we wanted. The big stages are too hard to cover. But you can see, even with my mid-level range, I can cover quite a lot of it. And this is one of those cases where we're getting further, the efficiency is ramping up, and right now my killing is keeping us, well, not only my killing, but my stunning too, is keeping us from dropping super fast. There's another about 2 grand focus. And look at that, they had the genius to go grab the stimulus at a time we actually wanted it. A novel idea, right? Either way, you can see, I'm not going to run around like a chicken with my head cut off, and we're going to dominate this game. Now, of course, the rotations are A, A, B, C, and that's 2, 4, 6, and 8. So, yeah, Zone 2 is an A. Zone 4 is A, Zone 6 is B, and Zone 8, which is the next one, is the C, excuse me. And I believe it's Chassis for A, and Neuroptics for B, and then it's Systems and Blueprint for the C rotation. Alright, I think this time I actually got out everything I wanted to say, so we can just finish this up here, and then I'll touch on the last bit that I wanted to show off, which actually does not take place in the mission. It's a little bit more diving into focus before we end. Alright, managed it, we're going on to 8 now. And you'll see sometimes doing this too. You might be on 8 after you've beaten it and still have that 100% efficiency. There it is, I was looking for one of those. Just to help kind of top us out a little bit before we move on. Yeah, sometimes you might still have 100% efficiency and it's time to leave. Especially if you need a systems or a blueprint, because you want to hit that 8 and then stop. Getting the 16 is a nightmare, and you need to have a group that really knows what they're doing to make it, because efficiency will drop too fast. And I think I want to go ahead and show that proc off too, since I haven't actually shown it yet, but it's still here. See that? I had it set to so far that it procced right when I got it out. And now with them killing and all that, it'll help my gamma core go off too. And if you only want to save one up, that's fine. You can leave your other one out at all times, and other people can help you build that up and everything by getting you that affinity and all that. And as it wears off, it'll build back up and you can keep getting way more energy. Just another way to manage it, so you're really on an enemy conscious frame then, and just blowing through all the enemies. I actually want to look at how many kills I have, but I'm gonna wait for this to end. Like, once the timer runs out on 8, that'll be good enough. I'll stop killing from there, because you can actually get some bonus kills before you leave, but I am not going to. I know for a fact I've dominated this session. There's another proc. Gets you a 25% of your like base energy. It's the funniest thing, too. I don't see anybody ever using incinerate weapons in here. And it's basically like free energy for doing what you do. In a place that you need it more than pretty much anywhere else. And yeah, guys, somewhere around 500k to 600k score for the whole 8-zone session is actually pretty normal for what we're doing. There we go. 570k. Not bad. Timer's out. And we've got almost 3,000 kills. 80% of the team damage. Now typically, guys, I get from doing this between 69 and 80%. And it's funny, I say between 69 and 80 because I've stopped on 69 twice today alone. Yeah, we know. We don't care. Because we are done. I think it's kind of cool that you can go and still explore just a little bit while you're doing that. But the big problem with it is none of the containers are ever open. There's no breakables and none of them are ever open. So you can't... Now, you might be able to do it with like a Kubrow or whatever that will go ahead and pick the lock or throw on the Master Thief or whatever. Might be able to do that. But I haven't tried it and I'm not going to. I don't care enough. So we want to go to focus conversion here, and this is the last thing I wanted to show. The reason why I do the Eidolon hunt so much is because you can get a ton of these. Now the synthetic Eidolon shards are actually worth only 5 grand each, and they're seems to me a random drop from the Sanctuary Onslaught. So, I mean, that's better than nothing, but it's not really necessary with these. The Brilliant Eidolons and the Radiants, you get these from basically successfully capturing the Eidolons. And you can get a lot of them if you do the Tridolon hunt, which is all 3 of them. The Terralist, the Gonchalist, and the Hydralist. But you can see the Brilliants. Now you want to save a few of Brilliants and Radiants, that way if something goes wrong, you didn't get it back or whatever, you're not stranded, you can just go into the next hunt. But the Brilliants are worth 25k each into whatever, and the Radiants are worth 40k. You can go and look at that. If I wanted all of them, 62. If I want to just do 60, that's 1.5 mil right there, real easy. So anyway, guys, I thought that was a nice way to do it. I think I cut off about 12 minutes on this video. That's very nice. As you guys can see, I dominated on there. We didn't get the Khora part that I wanted, which is the Neuro. It's the Neuro, which is alright. But, so you know, if you do get the system and the blueprint before everything else, then you can start going to 6 and stopping. So, it's easy enough. We killed 180 total XY, and we got 3,124 total team kills. Of that, almost 3,000 were mine. Alright guys, well, I think that's good enough. Just recap a little bit. Banshee Prime, double entropy proc, and you're basically good to go. So, thanks a lot guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to like, subscribe, comment. It would appreciate it. It'd help a lot. Maybe get this video out there to help others. And have yourselves a great day. God bless. Hopefully we'll